Hi, I'm TJ Higgs, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. This is going to be my first question and answer session, which I hope you will all enjoy, and that will prompt you to send in more questions for me to be able to answer for you. You can contact me via my website, www.tjhiggs.com, and that's how you can interact with me and ask further questions. So we're starting today with Stuart from Suffolk. Thank you very much for your question. How do you read into someone's past lives, and how is it possible? Well, there's a lot of controversy about past life reading, Stuart, and one of the first things I want to point out is although it is possible and you are able to read someone's past lives, you have to make sure that you do go to somebody very reputable, because just recently, actually, I've had some controversy with some of my students who've been told that the reason that they're living the lives the way they are is due to the fact that they're carrying something from their past life. Now, there will always be a resonance of your past life that's come into this life with you, but that doesn't mean that you're being punished by your past life, and sometimes that's the way that it's been put forward from the readings. Your past life is who you were and what your soul learnt at that point. So by having a look at what you did in a previous incarnation and what's missing this time can help put you on the path. And if you're on the same kind of loop, then really your soul's not going to learn anymore. So a past life reading, and even jointly with a soul reading, can kind of put you back onto that path. So it's very possible. You can also go for past life regression as well, where you should be the person that's doing the main part of the conversation and not the therapist. The therapist is there to kind of prompt rather than sort of encourage situations that you may have been in the past. But you know, do make sure that it's somebody reputable that's doing that for you, and your soul will feel that connection has been made, you know. So you will absolutely know that someone's reading where you were before and what's been brought into this life. And sometimes we do punish ourselves in this life, so just remember that the punishment isn't being caused by you, rather than putting it onto a past life incarnation. Thank you very much, Stuart. I hope that's helped. Thank you. Our next question is from Vanessa in Hartford, and she wants to know what colour spirit are. That's quite an interesting question as well. So, but the way I see spirit and the way I work with spirit, it's very much like a negative, a photograph, you know, a black and white photograph, and where you have all the colour. So you have the light of spirit, really, and it is just like a blend of little lights all sort of coming together for me. And then they'll just put the impression in my mind that they have blue eyes, or they're wearing a blue jumper, or sometimes they'll highlight parts of themselves, you know, especially if someone's really proud of their hair, I will get an impression of the way that the hair is sitting on the head, and you know, and maybe the colour, you know. So not everybody wants to come back through as a grey-haired old lady. I certainly won't be myself. I pay a lot of money not to be grey-haired. So so it's like the aspects of the person, that if your dad always wore a big black coat, then he's going to highlight that for the medium, because that would be, you know, relevant information, rather than just he's in a jumper or he's in a jacket, you know. So the parts that they need to highlight, they'll colour in different ways. Maybe it's in more black and white rather than the see-through. And sometimes when people see spirit, you know, they'll say, well, actually, I saw a spirit person as almost like a see-through, you know, sort of like a live person. I hope that's the right way that I'm supposed to put that. And I've actually seen that myself. I've experienced when I've seen almost somebody that's become see-through in front of me, but the communication doesn't really happen then, because they've used all their battery, if you like, just to show those colours. So regularly we would see spirit as a negative photograph. So I hope that's helped. And if you have any more questions for me, Vanessa, you know, please message them through either via my website, or also we can use the Facebook page, TJ Higgs. Thank you. Okay, we have Katrina from Norwich in Norfolk, and Katrina wants to ask me how she goes about training as a healer. Now, you have all different forms of healing as well. So you have the spiritual healing. Reiki healing is something that I do know about. I am a Reiki master teacher as well. And I encourage all my students to sort of go through Reiki 1 at least. Not necessarily with myself, I'd like to add, but it does help you make a closer connection to the source. And Katrina, I'm sure that in your day-to-day sort of workplace, you'll be a form of a healer, because it feels like that to me. So if you're nursing or caring in any kind of way, you're already using some form of your healing skills. if you are going to go on to train as a Reiki healer, find again somebody reputable in your area that's had good results as well. You know, you want when your students are attuned as a Reiki master, we want them to really feel the essence of spirit coming close as well, not just a room full of lots of people, you know, having your hands touched, which unfortunately is some of the feedback that I've had. You as the Reiki master also feel what your student is feeling as well, and it becomes really a blend of two people, and then those two people connect into the source. And it can be such an amazing experience. I know when I attune, I don't get to do it very often anymore, but when I do attune my students, I really enjoy that connection with spirit as well. It brings you so close to the source. So look for somebody reputable in your area, look for somebody that's recommended as well, and I'm sure you'll be well on your way to using all those healing skills you have. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. Okay, we have Maureen from Scunthorpe. Maureen wants to know what the difference is between psychic and medium. A psychic reads the living, you know, so psychic is a derivative of the word psyche, which is the soul. So you're actually reading the soul of the living person, if you like. And then as the medium, you become the reader of the soul that's passed over, you know, that's gone into the other world. So it's still a psychic kind of discipline, but it becomes the word medium. So a psychic will read tools sometimes as well. So you may have a tarot reading or a crystal reading, psychometry reading, which are all psychic disciplines, and there are many more of those as well. And then the medium just needs your energy and the energy of spirit. So it's a very simple way, really. It's a very simple medium, I was going to say. That's why I stumbled my words there. So a psychic will read tools, yourself, your life, and a medium will communicate with the spirit world for you. Thanks, Maureen. The next question has come in from Jo in Birmingham, and Jo wants to know how she can get to know her guide or guides. Really interesting question there, Jo. A lot of people believe they can't even start working with spirit until they know who their guidance is. But the guidance sometimes is fluctuating as well, which is more the guide helpers. Your own spirit guidance has been with you all your life, so there has already been that connection, but you may not know what guise they're actually coming forward in. A good meditation would help you do that, to go inside yourself, you know, so actually working in your own power and just sitting and asking the guidance to come forward. And once you've made that connection yourself, because it's a really personal thing, you know, it's a real sort of soul to soul connection. Once you've done that, then sort of seek outside sort of clarification, if you like. Never trust somebody that just comes up to you to tell you that you have, you know, say a nun working with you or a monk working with you or a Native American, whatever they may say, until you've made that connection yourself, because you may be sitting there waiting for the nun to turn up, you know, and you may have, like I do, a potato farmer from Ireland that will never show up as a monk, you know, so it's just a really, really personal connection. So meditation is very good for that, just sitting in your own space, in your own power, and making those connections. That's a good way to start there, Jo. And thank you very much for that question. And on the other side of that, I've had a message in from Sarah in Surrey, who's asking if you need to meditate to connect to the spirit world. Now, this might sound like I'm going to contradict myself, but when I work for spirit, I never meditate before I start. I never ever do that. Meditation for me would be to make a closer connection to my guides, would be for me to sort of like look at my own self and where I am right now. But I would never meditate before doing a demonstration of mediumship, because it actually lowers your energy. So if you imagine we kind of all vibrate at a certain level, and then you start to meditate before you're making your connections, you're taking your energy much lower. So you're taking your energy down in effect, and you're kind of closing yourself in. But you need to actually raise your vibrations and take your energy higher, because spirit do vibrate at a much faster energy. So the faster your energy, the higher your energy, the quicker and clearer the the communication would be. So in that case, you need more of a vibrant piece of music, something. It doesn't necessarily have to be holistic music, it can be something that can really sort of raise your energy, So my power song, if you like, is I've Got the Power, and I'll listen to that if my energy's waning a little bit, and that will actually make sure that I'm making my connection with spirit. And it's almost like a little trigger in my mind that I use that music, and straight away I find that I'm there. So two different ways of working. So the meditation, where you're looking for your spirit guides and you're looking at your own soul's purpose, you're going inside yourself, and the way to make the connection with the spirit world is to actually open yourself up and sort of make your energy pulse, as it were. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Sarah. I hope that's been helpful. Dee from Harlow, she wants to know how she can open up her third eye. Working with your chakras is a very good way of opening yourself up. But it's, for me, when you work like that, it's all sort of like a mindset that you're putting in, So there's lots of different ways, and lots of different mediums will tell you all different ways of making that happen. But really, again, it's more of a meditative energy where you're sort of opening yourself up for spirit. So kind of the same answer that we had for Joe there from Birmingham. It's very much about sitting for yourself as well, and feeling the connections. So that's the way to start opening up your third eye before you then power yourself up to start to work with the spirit world. Okay, thanks, Dee. Hope that's helped. Our next question is from Donna in Essex, and she wants to know, how would a non-medium know that spirit are near? Thank you, Donna. Great question. I'm a great believer in signs from the spirit world. In fact, I went on to write a book about it. So spirit are showing you all different ways, and you don't need to be a medium, a working medium, if you like, because you are already the medium for the spirit world, because you carry love for that person. So the fact that you've loved someone that's in the other world, that is already your mediumistic connection, if you like. And look out for different ways that they're showing themselves to you. As said in my book, my pops shows me himself as a little robin, so I know when he's near. And a lot of the times when I feel spirit have come close, I will have noticed the robin, or I've seen the word, that like the name of one of my grandparents is Stanley, and if I've asked a question, is everything going to be all right, or is this the right thing to do, I'll drive past a road that says Stanley Road, or there could be a van with a name on that connects to me, so all different very subtle ways. And obviously there's the medium of music, spirit will show you their favourite songs, or it could be, if you have somebody in the spirit world called Ron, for example, you may find that everywhere you go you can hear the song "To Do Ron Ron," so that's another way of spirit being able to communicate. So very subtly, sometimes through all sorts of mediums of you've got the birds, so you've got the robins, you've got butterflies as well, you've got feathers, coins, so many different variations of the ways that spirit can communicate with you. And the only way to see or know this is very simple. It's just to open your mind. Thanks, Donna. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this question and answer session. Please like and share with your friends if you've enjoyed it. And please subscribe to my YouTube account. And there will be more question and answers, and also some interactive teaching coming up as well. So watch this space. Thank you.